Okay, so let's take a seat. And I guess before we get started, I want you all to know that today is the first Monday of the month, and we always offer an additional 15-minute meditation at the end of this practice. April so lovingly is willing to guide us through a meditation. So if you can stay for that, please do. If you need to jump off when we're done, just go ahead and jump off. And so I'll just tell you right now, I'm happy that you're here if I don't get to say goodbye. You have to leave. Okay, so as we begin this practice, your eyes or look down in front of you, and I'm going to start with an image for you. I'd like you to bring to mind the image of those nesting dolls. Sometimes we call them Russian dolls, those little stackable toys. So in the yoga tradition, in the Ayurveda tradition, as a human being, we have 5 layers. We have 5 little shells. So let's start right here in the seated position, and let's identify with the most obvious, the physical body. And some teachers teach this as the physical body is the outside and the bodies get smaller. I like to teach the opposite, that our physical body is the little self in the middle. So see if you can feel all of this little self sitting here. And it might feel good to you to just rock side to side, forward and back, nesting, just settling into the seat beneath you. Feeling the weight of your body here on a cushion or the floor. Feeling the length of the spine, the shoulder blades dropping onto the back. Feeling the temperature of air on your skin. Maybe pressure or weight where your body touches the surface below you. Tune into your senses. Smell, sound, taste, touch, even sight behind your closed eyes. Take a moment to honor and celebrate this physical body sitting here. Move around a little bit in some way that helps you identify some tightness in your body or some pain or some kind of stiffness or restriction. And that's where we're going to give a lot of attention today. So individually, I invite you that whatever shape we're in, you bring yourself into the version of that shape that addresses this physical part of you that needs attention. Maybe it's neck, maybe it's chest, maybe it's lower back. Those are common places. What do you need today physically? Let's take a few breaths together to kind of wake this body up. So fingertips on the floor, turn the palms open and reach the arms high. Take a huge breath in. And on the exhale, just drop your arms down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, drop. Inhale, lift. Exhale, drop. Let's do a few more of those. Just feel your body moving with a little bit more energy. And then reach your arms up, interlace your fingers, palms pressed to the ceiling, lift and lengthen through the side bodies. And it might feel good to tilt your body from side to side, just tapping into the places that need this. And then turn the palms down, bring the hands in front of you, the knuckles face forward, round your upper back, and bring your chin to your chest. And then imagine that you're holding a steering wheel in front of you and just twist so that one arm comes on top and then the other. Just finding a little something in the back of the shoulders. And then release to tall spine, hands on the knees. Pull yourself forward the opposite way, a little arch, a little seated cow. And then push back, exhale, seated cat. Moving with your breath, finding those places that need it. This physical body here on a mat, intentional and aware. Come back to neutral, rotate toward the right side, take a deep breath in. Exhale like you're wringing out a cloth with your abdominals. Come back to center, float toward the left side, deep breath in, sit tall. Exhale, squeeze. And then come back to center. Let's do that again, both sides. Inhale, tall. Exhale to wring out. And center and switch. Moving on to the floor, all fours. You can set aside any of your props. Placing the hands wide and firm in front of you. We're going to just start to lift the right leg up behind. And then exhale to lower and the left. So starting our first look at length across the front of the hips. And just notice if you can feel the relationship of the hip flexor to the lower back. That large muscle actually starts at the lumbar spine, the low back, and it inserts on your thigh bone. It's a really long and large muscle. Take one more breath in, extend one leg back, point and flex the foot. Make sure your core is really bracing here. And then cross that leg over and turn to look at it. Just turn your eyes toward the toes off your mat. Just get a nice little stretch there in that side body. Ease your way back to center, find neutral. Extend the opposite leg, lift. Pull the leg across and then turn to look at that leg that's crossing. Feeling breath in the side of your body, all the way down the hip. And then come back to center. Inhale into cow here. Feel the strength of the back and then slowly peel into cat. And feel the length of the back. Slowly move from the tailbone up and the tailbone moves in the opposite direction. So the head moves last. Do a few more of these on your own with your breath. As we come into downward facing dog, finding again that place that you identified earlier that needs a little bit of extra attention. If it's neck, move your neck. If it's shoulders, wiggle into that space. Where is this physical body asking for attention? On your inhale, raise the right leg again. Noticing with a little more energy and strength now, the length in the front of the leg. Exhale to lower and switch on the inhale. So creating a stretch for the hip flexor by finding strength in the back of the body. So it's going to feel a little more passive. But notice the relationship, lower back to the front of the hip. And then both feet on the floor, soften the knees. Walk the feet to the top of the mat and come into a half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to a half lift. Exhale, forward fold. One more time into that strong back half lift. And forward fold. Soften the knees and let's reach the arms all the way up. Extended mountain. Interlace the hands again and press the palms up, the way we did when we were seated. Rooting down through the feet, lifting up through the hands. How much space can you find between your ribs and your hips? And we'll move sideways here. Opening up those muscles, lengthening across the hips and the low back. And then turn the palms down, round your back again. Come down into a standing cat. Let the hands come all the way to the knees, tuck the chin, and then inhale, standing cow. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, round the spine. So you've heard me say so many times, motion is lotion. That's what we're trying to do here, is just create space. Synovial fluid lubrication between every vertebra. We have, I believe, 70 joints up and down the spine. And we just want to see if we can put a little bit of space through all of them, each of those little tiny spaces. A little bit of room, a little bit of freedom. And then standing up in mountain pose. Take a deep breath in, arms reach high, feet a little bit wider. On the exhale, sink down into chair. And let's move with breath. Start to hear the sound of your breath. Ujjayi breath, that whisper sound, or H sound. And we'll start to explore the second layer. A layer that's a little more subtle. Pranamaya kosha, the breath body. So imagine those little stacking dolls, and there's a layer of you that's just outside of your body, like a coat or a bodysuit, and it's the layer of breath. So instead of breath just moving in and out of your lungs, imagine your breath enveloping your body. Thinking of breath more as energy and prana and aliveness. So as we continue this practice and you're using your physical body in these shapes, can you feel this kind of fuzzy outer layer that's your energy? Take one more deep breath in, arms reach high. And then swan dive, feet a little closer, forward fold. Press hands to shins, lift halfway. And step back, downward facing dog. Take a couple of breaths here. And then shifting forward into plank pose, we're all gonna drop our knees and lower down onto our bellies. Hands are right by the shoulders. We're going to keep the head low and just alternate lifting a leg the way we did before. The strength of the glutes, inviting length across the front of the hip. This one's a little harder. Pure glute strength. Settle the feet down and lift into a little cobra. And then pressing into the hands, use your abs to pull you back into child's pose. Take some deep breaths here, moving breath behind you. Imagining this layer around you of energy, your field of energy, your breath body. See if that softens the edges, just this image of a softer outer layer. Come back to tabletop position, tuck your toes, lift your hips, downward facing dog. See if this second time allows any more space or movement or freedom. And slowly bring your feet to your hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms reach. And exhale, hands to heart. Reach up again. And bow low. Inhale to a half lift. Exhale back, downward facing dog. We're going to take a vinyasa, so come forward onto your knees or your toes. Lower halfway down. And then again, let's melt to the floor, come up to cobra, or you could press up to your feet, upward facing dog. Exhale back, child's pose. Pause for a few breaths, finding release where your body needs it. And then rising up to tabletop, tuck your toes, lift your hips, and let a big exhale go. Down dog. Physical body, strong, grounded, stable. Breath, body, just creating this light layer. Energy. Bring your feet to your hands. Inhale to a half lift. And exhale, forward fold. Soften the knees, rise high, extended mountain. And bring your hands to your heart. So we've done leg raises behind us in 3 postures. We're going to do it again here. So you can bring your hands to your hips if you like, and then just reach back, alternating a foot. Okay, so just touching your toe to the floor, feeling the strong back, the length in the front. And you can touch your toe to the floor, or you can just reach that leg back off the floor. Noticing the relationship between low back and hip flexor. So the next time the left leg comes back, let's let it come all the way to the floor and come onto your toes. Tuck the tailbone, really tuck the tailbone so the pelvis rotates backwards. The hands stay down on the hips, so you're pressing down through your hips. Lift up with your spine. So come into a little back bend, shoulders wrap onto your back, stretch and breathe across the front of your body. And then hinging forward from the hips, we'll bring our hands to the floor. If you have a bolster or a cushion, you could even use a block, but they're a little harder. I'd like you to bring something right here in the middle of your mat. We're going to put our knee down on top of that soft surface. Okay, so a blanket will work, but I want you to get the knee up a little bit so that you can deepen this hip flexor stretch. And go a little bit deeper with that back knee elevated. So with that knee comfortable on some kind of a cushion, lengthen forward. Once again, pull your sternum, your chest away from your pelvis. Put some space in that hip and up and down the spine. There's a tight pinch in the right hip flexor and a nice long stretch across the left one. Shifting backwards, keep the knee on the cushion and then straighten the front leg. Hamstring stretch. You might feel like you can go forward a little bit more, opening into the back of the leg. The hamstring attaches in the pelvis and Can definitely tug on the low back. So this is another one to give yourself some space in. Deep breath, everybody. Find the length, find the ease here, the soft outer body of breath. And then go ahead and come forward. We're going to tuck the back toes, lift the knee off the ground. So you're in a low lunge. Let's take a twist here. Left hand stays down, right arm opens up. See if there's any place that feels pinchy or crunchy, and see if you can just open up around that space, pull it apart. Imagine your breath on the outside of your skin, stretching your skin. Breathe like you're just trying to grow into one size bigger of a body. And then release that hand to the floor, tucking the back toes. We're going to step up over the bolster and into a forward fold. Knees soft, spine long. Bring your hands to your shins, lift halfway, find a strong back. And then soften the knees even more, press yourself up to standing, open up the arms overhead, extended mountain, and bring your hands to your heart. All right, good. Look down because there's a bolster in the way, but you're going to take your right foot back, come onto your right toes, and tuck the tailbone. So finding again that length, hands to the hips, press down on your hips, lift your rib cage up, and breathe into this new space. There's a little back bend here. Beautiful. We'll hinge from the hips. Let the hands come down. Settle the knee onto your prop. The left foot comes forward. So this is a pretty deep hip flexor stretch. If this is causing any kind of pain, you can lose the prop, but I really like it. It feels good to have that knee elevated a bit. Tugging your heart, your chest forward. Just looking for space. And slowly shifting the hips back to find that hamstring stretch. Hands can walk forward. Think of length. The breath is working as hard as the body. Really intentional about expansion. We work with these layers. We're inviting all of the parts of our being to be here. We all have shadow parts. We all have parts of us we'd like to hide and tuck away. This practice, we're inviting our whole being to show up here, starting with the body as it is today, and the breath, something to stretch out into. Let's come forward, finding our lunge, tucking the back toes, preparing for a twist. So right hand down, left arm circles up. If it feels better to keep that knee down, you can do that. And take a little more active twist. Imagine your breath stretching you into a body that's one size bigger, 1 inch taller. A wider wingspan, longer bones, just stretch into a bigger version of yourself with your breath. And we're going to lower the hand to the ground, drop the knee if it hasn't dropped already, tuck your toes and lift into downward facing dog. Pedal the heels, shift your weight. take the feet a little wider. Let's come to a wider version of downward facing dog. Maybe the hands back a little closer. And as you press, your head comes closer to your prop. The sitting bones get closer to the sky. Maybe there's movement. Maybe there's stillness. What can you find here in chest and shoulders? We'll bring our feet closer together. Set your knees down behind your bolster, behind the prop, the cushion, and move it out in front of you. We're going to take our knees wide and place the hands on top of something. So it can be blocks, it can be that cushion. We're going to come down into child's pose in a way that stretches the chest a bit more. Let your body sink here. Let gravity take over. Feel the waves of breath making your body expand and contract. And releasing off of that prop, let's move it forward out of our way, and we'll go ahead and come down onto our bellies. And take a moment here, you can turn your head to either side, wiggle out your hips. Your body adjusts to being prone. And then rising up onto one elbow, we're going to reach back and take a hold of one ankle. So this is half bow. You can be up a little bit higher if you like. Just reaching the hand toward the ankle. Just take a little quad stretch. You can stay down low if you'd like, or you can press up a little higher onto the elbow or even out onto the hand. More of a quad stretch than anything. If you enjoy bow pose, you could reach back with both hands to both ankles. And when you're ready, switch. Opposite hand to the opposite ankle, or you could take both. Just breathing at any level, low, medium, or high that you want to be here. Just finding that strength in the back and length in the front. Let's release, turn the opposite cheek to the floor and wiggle out your hips. So opening up our hips in another way that adds in the shoulders. Take your arms out to the sides. Bend your left knee and then just flip that knee across. So you're coming onto the front of your right shoulder, and you're getting that length in the left hip flexor. Let gravity be here. And the layer of breath around your body. We're going to start to bring in a third layer of self here, and it's called Maya Kosha. It's the layer of thinking, thoughts, emotions, a layer of language. Thoughts are subtle energy, but they're measurable energy. Come back to center, ease your way back to neutral, and then just slowly switch sides. Right foot bent, knee bends, right foot comes back. So notice that layer of you. Is there any thinking happening right now? Any analyzing with language? And are those thoughts present about what you're experiencing right now? Are they future thoughts or past thoughts? Without judging, just notice, observe, thinking and feeling happening right here. It's a subtle layer of who you are. So when we feel like we're being pulled towards a thinking and feeling part of us, we can withdraw. We can bring the energy and attention back to breath and back to body. Go ahead and release to the center. Bring yourself to neutral. Wiggle out a bit through your hips. And then press your hands to your shoulders. Come again to a tabletop. This time in tabletop, finding neutral, shift side to side. Take a sideways cat and cow. Let's see what you find there. We'll move toward the back of our shoulders. So here in tabletop, raise your right arm and scoop that arm underneath. Come to the back now of your right shoulder. Thread the needle is a really great stretch for upper back. Your knees can be wide or more narrow. Moving breath backwards. As you close your eyes and you notice your physical body in this shape, notice breath moving outside the skin, this expansion and contraction. And then notice, is there any thinking? Is there a layer of language, feeling and thinking? As you observe that, if it seems to be pulling you away from this moment, just bring yourself back to the body, the sensations here. And come back to center, finding neutral, raising the left arm and then reaching that left arm through, nice and easy, coming onto the opposite shoulder. Welcoming all three layers of you here. It all gets to be here. Easing ourselves back to center. Maybe a little cat and cow would feel good. Just a little bit more movement here before we take a seat. When you're ready, swing your legs around and come onto your sitting bones. You can use a block or bolster. We're going to do a seated forward fold. And we're going to try to do a bent knee seated forward fold today and see how that changes things. So it's kind of nice to have something here propping under our legs. Reach down there, move the flesh aside, and this should make it easier to get to your toes. So when you're ready, lengthen through the spine, and it might feel good to stay like that. If you experience any low back pain or tension, sometimes it's kind of nice to stay in a straighter back. If your body is inviting you to fold forward, go ahead and do that. When your physical body finds the shape that it wants to be in, bring in the layer of breath, Pranamaya Kosha. The energy body, the layer of prana, aliveness. In Chinese medicine, it's referred to as qi. You feel that sense of buzzing, electrical energy. Notice any thinking, emotions, words, language. As you observe those, if they're pulling you away from this experience, just invite yourself back here. This sensation, the shape. And slowly release to neutral, and you can remove any props you're using. We're going to come down onto our backs, and this is where I'll invite you to have a strap handy and maybe a block as well, if you want to use that when we get to bridge. All right, so we're going to start with hugging our knees into our chest and moving around on our backs. And then just like we've done earlier, alternating one knee coming down, and press your heel down into the floor and then bring it back up and switch. Alternating length across hip flexors. Strength in the back. So a little bit of pressure on the floor with that heel is going to make you engage the muscles in the back of your body, which helps you stretch the front. Just move slow. Here to explore, to observe. We'll go one more time on each side. And then with both knees into the chest, give that lower back a nice massage. And find the strap, and we're going to take the strap around the right foot. Just below the ball of the foot, give yourself enough slack that your shoulders can stay on the floor. The bottom leg can be bent or straight. And then we'll pull this leg in a little bit closer. Exhale. Inhale to take it away. Exhale, bring it closer. Inhale, let it float away. And just continue that movement with breath. Exploring your hamstrings, the back of your knee, down into your calves. The movement in and out of a stretch like this is sending a signal to our body that it's okay to relax. A little more than when we just force. The next time the leg comes close to you, pause, hold, and breathe. Just let your body get the signal. It's time to let go, to release, to relax. Maybe some side-to-side motion, or maybe stillness. Take the band in the right hand and just let that leg come out to the side as the left arm extends. Breathing to make your body take up some more space. And back to center. And we'll switch sides. So bending both knees, let's come into the chest, give a little massage of the low back. And then planting the right foot, let's scoop the band underneath the left foot. Take the leg up high. Just find that place where the shoulders can be relaxed. The right leg drops. You can stay bent or drop, your choice. And then we'll start to move with our breath. Exhale as the leg gets closer to you. Inhale to take it away. Exhale, bring it close. Notice that relationship. When there's a little bit of movement, there's a little more softness, a little less force. And the next time that leg comes close, let's hold the stretch. It might ask for a bent knee. Maybe it's a little more straight. Just breathe. See if you can feel the relationship between hamstring and hip flexor. One in the back, one in the front. Holding the strap in the left hand, take the leg out to the side. Deep, slow breaths. Movement or stillness. Your body knows exactly what it means. Your body is wise. Bringing that leg back to center, bend the knee, unleash, and go ahead and place your feet on the floor. And let's heel toe our pinky toes out a little wider, arms in a T, and we're gonna windshield wiper the legs, just back and forth. Might be small movement, it might be big movement. Your body knows what it means. Create a rhythm of body moving with breath, like a dance with two partners. Perfect rhythm. When the legs fall to the left, let's keep them there. You can turn your head to the right. And if you'd like something different, you can go ahead and stack your knees or cross your legs for spinal twist. Close your eyes and see if you can feel the breath expanding the body. Notice that layer of thinking or feeling. And if it's pulling you toward the past or the future, just invite your experience back here. Bring your awareness into this body and what's happening now. And slowly switching, the knees drop to the right, the head rolls to the left. Slowly finding your twist on the other side. See if there's any gripping or holding here that you can release. As you observe body, breath, thought, feeling, emotions, it all gets to be here, but let it serve you. Come back to center. So coming into bridge, you can support yourself in bridge with something underneath you, or you can just lift your hips, whatever feels like the best idea for your body today. Maybe even just fists up underneath you. See what your body kind of wants. So many ways to just lift the hips. And once you get into bridge, if you're supported, we're just going to take one leg out and then the other the way we did earlier. Just alternating. If you're in bridge without any props, lift one leg to the ceiling and then the other. And then just holding yourself there with hips slightly elevated or strong, little bridge or big bridge. When you're ready, release. Draw your knees in one more time. So we're getting ready to move toward the posture we've been working towards this whole time, and that is final rest, Shavasana. So take your time finding any props or any position that your body desires for some moments of rest. And as we come into Shavasana, we're going to explore the fourth layer of self, the wisdom body, Vijnanamaya Kosha. This is the layer of self that is wise and knowing. This is the witness. This is the part of you that observes a body resting here. Part of you that observes the breath coming and going. The part of you that observes the thinking, the feeling, the emotions. This is the witness, the observer. Imagine this being a bigger version, an expanded version of self. As you lie here in Shavasana, resting, relaxing your muscles, I invite you to be this wise, compassionate witness that sees when thoughts wander and lovingly invites them back here. As you continue resting and observing, I invite you to listen to the words of Derek Walcott in his poem, Love After Love. Imagine your wise self speaking these words to you. The time will come when with elation you'll greet yourself, arriving at your own door, in your own mirror, and each will smile at the other's welcome and say, sit here, eat. You will love again the stranger who was yourself. Give wine, give bread, give back your heart to yourself, to the stranger who has loved you all your life, whom you have ignored for another, the one who knows you by heart. Take down the letters from the bookshelf, the photographs, the desperate notes. Peel your own image from the mirror. Sit, feast on your life. Feast on your life. In the way that serves you best, slowly, calmly, lovingly return to a seat. Our hands can come together in front of our heart in a humble gesture of gratitude for this physical body, all of its aches and all of its pleasures. This breath in our layer of energy and life. These thoughts and these feelings, this mental mind body, it serves us well so often and sometimes goes astray. And massive gratitude for our wise self, the observer, the witness, the loving, wise one. And then gratitude for the fifth layer of who we are, which is our layer of connection, the most expansive self, the self that permeates out through the walls of this room and reaches into the next room and the house next door and the friends down the street and the people around the world that are sharing this moment in meditation. Anandamaya Kosha, our biggest self, the place where we all connect. And thank you for showing up today and for honoring all of the parts of you. And as we bow with Namaste, I'm going to turn the rest of this time over to April for a guided meditation. If you need to leave, peace be with you as you travel. Namaste.
Thank you so much, dear Denise. Let us flow right into our meditation. So if you choose to, you may remain seated with your eyes closed, or you may lay down. Find an easeful and comfortable shape that will allow you to receive the gifts of your practice today. So as a community, let's take a deep inhale through our nose and exhale it out with a sigh. Do that 2 more times. One more, just like that, in through the nose and out through the mouth. You may engage your Ujjayi breath to help you become anchored to this moment, to help you become anchored to your breath, to help you become anchored within your body, within your practice. Echoing the words, the time will come when with elation you will greet yourself arriving at your own door, in your own mirror, and each will smile at the other's welcome and say, sit, here, eat. You will love again the stronger who was yourself, the stranger who was yourself. Give wine, give bread, give back your heart to itself, to the stranger who has loved you, to the stranger who has loved you. All your life, whom you ignored for another, who knows you by heart. Take down the love letters from the bookshelf, the photographs, the desperate notes. Peel your own image from the mirror. Sit, feast on your life. Sit here and feast on your life. The intention of this meditation is to accept, welcome, and celebrate all aspects of yourself. That stranger who has loved you all your life. Every person is a unique constellation of sub-personalities, life experiences, beliefs, desires, fears, relationships, and more. There are 8 acceptances in this meditation. These are invitations to become intimate with the full spectrum of our experience and honor all the elements that make us who we are. If there are any parts of your body that would love, some touch, or a gentle stretch, please honor those invitations from your own self to move, to stretch out, or to just be still. Let's flow through the 8 acceptances. I accept all parts of myself. I welcome and celebrate all who I am. I accept all parts of all archetypes within me. The lover, the hunter, the warrior, the homemaker, the child, the mother, the father, the brother, the sister, the friend, the wise sage, the fool. I welcome all of the parts that I rely on every day, and I welcome all of the unknown or unused parts of myself. I celebrate all of my senses. I savor the capacity of seeing, hearing, feeling, touching, tasting, smelling, balancing, and moving. I welcome all of my instincts. I cherish my instinct for homing, for knowing what home is inside, for exploring, hunting, protecting, socializing, and bonding, for nourishing and resting. accept the dance of emotion. I welcome the dance of emotional energies that flow through me. Love, fear, anger, laughter, joy, aversion, hope, sorrow, generosity. I celebrate the dance and flow of emotions. I welcome all of my rhythms. I welcome the pulsing of my heart, the flow of my breathing, the play and interplay of activity and rest. I accept the rhythm of excitation and restfulness. I welcome the flow of desire. I accept my desire for freedom, for power, independence, stability, safety, adventure, novelty, status, acceptance, friendship, romance, peacefulness, and expressiveness. I welcome improvisation and spontaneity. I celebrate each moment as a new adventure. Each moment is calling me to meet it with ingenuity, with creativity, with resourcefulness. I say yes to improvising with the mystery of life. I celebrate my love of the life force itself. I welcome the life force flowing through me, expressing through me as me. Now allow yourself a few minutes, a few moments to flow freely with your natural rhythms, instincts, senses, personalities, and desires, dovetailing with all of the koshas, with the many layers of yourself. Welcome the mystery and wonder of life as it continually unfolds and unsheathes for you. Take a few deep breaths, long and relaxing, slowly reawakening and becoming aware of your surroundings. Start to transition back to the environment around you. Take some time to remember all of the members that make up you. Gather them within yourself. Remember where you are. Remember who you are. And allow yourself some time to integrate your practice. Integrate the inner journey that you were just on with the rhythm of your day. Join me as I take an inhale, sweeping the arms up overhead, palms meet. And exhale, bring your thumbs to your heart center to close your practice today. Thank you so much for allowing me to remind you of all the things you already know, and for honoring me and allowing me to guide you in your practice today. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste.